What is up, Leo? Welcome to your general timeless reading. This is for all Leo placements. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. My name is Jordyn. I'm a master Reiki practitioner and a tarot reader. If you want a personal reading or Reiki session, you can book it down below through my website in the description box. Other than that, let's get into it. Let's see what we got going on for you. Leo, they literally just showed me somebody sitting with like a crown on their head. I feel like your like Libra season is like Leo season 2.0. I feel like you feel very loving, but you feel very creative and playful all at the same time. I feel like you very much so like want to hang out with a lot of friends, but it's almost like at the same time you need to mature in regards to like buckling down and getting certain things done. So let's start with, I actually really want to use Tarot Illuminati for you. Tarot Illuminati is it's a fun deck, but it is a deck of somebody who's very in tune with like their higher self, which I like, which tells me that you have gone through, it's almost like you've closed a cycle out. I like that. So let's see what's going on for you, Leo. Okay, when I see octopus to me is about adaptability. You might be going through, some of you just changed jobs, or you're about to change jobs, or you're contemplating a career change. It feels very in regards to your finances and your career. Some of you are also thinking about moving. I feel like a lot of moving. Or moving in, or having somebody move into the home with you. There's something with the residence. For Leo. Thank you. Six of Cups in reverse, Nine of Wands. I feel unbothered, very unbothered, like, oh, there they go again. Okay. It feels very like that, like, okay, I'm gonna keep focusing on me. It feels very much so like that, like I have my crown straightened, not in an egotistical way, in a very I have my eyes set on what I want to accomplish, and I can't control other people, and I will not trip or stumble. I'm going to keep moving forward. It's very eye on the prize kind of thing, like, oh, you're not investing in me. In the past that would have bothered me. It's not going to bother me now. Heads up, moving forward. It's very much like that. I like that. Yeah, if it's not reciprocated, you're not investing in that person or that relationship. It feels very much like it has to do with other people. Very much like it has to do with other people. Let's continue. I feel like this is in the workplace. It feels in the workplace. Yeah, Eight of Cups. If this is a boss or a coworker, it feels like the workplace. It's like, oh, you don't see the amount of effort I'm putting in. You're not going to give me that raise. That's cool. I got a job offer I didn't want to tell you about. I'm just going to take this job. I quit. Yeah, bye. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels very much like that. It feels like, it's like, I don't need to put up. It feels like a really bad way of saying it. But it's like, I don't need to tolerate the lack of appreciation. I know my worth. It's like honoring your worth. It's really what it feels like. It could be outside of like romantic relationships, but it feels in regards to just honoring your worth and knowing like it's time to walk away. Eight of Cups, I like that. Hot tamales, yeah. Five of Swords in reverse. Five of Swords in reverse to me is about the release. It's like no longer dealing with the stress, no longer dealing with the drama. And then we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, you're learning new things. I like this. The Page of Swords. You're being very authentic. I like this. You're being very, very authentic. Page of Swords to me is typically a student energy. You might be learning new things, you might be even going back to school, or if you did take on a new job, or if you're buying a house for the first time. I just literally felt like a first time home buyer, and you're going through the process and like trying to learn how that all works, like people really digging into your finances and like the process and how tedious it really is. Um, you're really learning a lot about things at this time, but you're enjoying it because you're expanding. Hello, my dear. And this is really, really nice. There's like a new level of independence and maturity coming in for you, and I really, really like that. For some of you, I'm going to be honest, this doesn't feel like it's happening right now. I'm just going to say that. I feel like this is happening like throughout the month of October. I know I'm recording this at the end of September. This feels like a monthly read for you for some reason, which is really weird. I'm about to do the monthly reads on Patreon, but this, I'm not going to lie, this feels like it feels like a time warp. When I feel in my chest space like expanding throughout a read, this feels to me, that means like it's a timeline energy, that it's an expansion energy, and my hands are really cold, which tells me that my energy is being drawn to the center of my body. And that tells me that you might be literally going through an energetic shift, and that's gonna happen over time. So if you experience a lot of change in the month of October, I would not be shocked, but it feels really nice. It feels like somebody who's really embodying their power. The Hermit, I love that you have a Hermit energy. This is Virgo energy. Underneath it is the Sun in reverse, which is your energy, but underneath that is the Chariot. I think that this is almost like going the Hermit to me is winter, the Sun is summer. So we are in the fall equinox where the day and night are equal, but we're also getting in, well, they were yesterday, but we're getting into more of the darkness, right? I think that you're learning to shine your light more inward and to understand that that's actually what's going to bring you forward. You're no longer going to be giving so much energy to the external. You're learning that you are also a priority. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. You're straightening the damn crown. Do you think, chicken wing? Do you think, chicken wing? Okay, let's clarify. I really, really like this for you. I really like this for you. I wish I had a new tarot deck. I almost bought one this morning too. I really did. I really did. I gotta get a P.O. box or something. I know some of you have been asking me to do that. I do have to do that. I do. I know I do. Yes, these are timeless. I'm a firm believer that like energy, time is all fluid. So I'm a person that's going to tell you to take what resonates and leave the rest, and this might resonate again for you down the road. And that's crazy because we ended with the Hermit. So if you're a Virgo cusp, like there's Virgo for you. But yeah, yes, this is for all Leo placements. So yes, it would resonate. And I'm also a firm believer that like we all embody all zodiac signs, and all zodiac signs it's going to resonate for anywhere it is in our chart. Even like the slightest bit. And if you were to watch all signs, they all pretty much have a very similar theme because we all just embody the energy in a different way. We all just embody it in more of a water or a fire, an earth or an air way, but it's pretty much the same theme. Sorry. Let's see what's going on for you. Let's look at the Six of Cups. Whoa. We have the Chariot, the Queen of Swords. I'll stop there. And the Four of Pentacles. The Chariot in reverse. You're realizing that you don't want to move backwards anymore. You're very much so protecting your energy. This feels like someone who's like I said, you feel very authentic. This feels like a monthly reading. I'm just going to be honest. This feels like a very monthly reading for October for Leo. It does. It really does. This feels like somebody who's saying like, I don't want to be an old self anymore, and quite literally taking the mask off and being like, I'm going to just really care for me this month. it really, we're just gonna say this is a monthly reading for Leo. We are, because it really just feels that way. It just feels that way, and I'm not the kind of reader that's ever gonna just blow smoke up your butt. And if it's meant to be that way, it's meant to be that way. So I'm gonna tell you it's that way. Let's look at the Nine of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Wands. I feel like there's a part of you that's so torn to go back to something. It could be a relationship. This feels like it's relating to an actual person. To go back to it, to talk to them, to like, well, I really want to say this, I really want to say that, and it's like, it's the teeter-totter, like, oh, I should tell my boss, or I should tell this ex, or I should tell this friend, or I should tell this family member, and it's like, it's not worth it. Like, you get to this place of like, it's not worth it. Like, it's not worth my happiness. It's not worth stressing about. It's not worth giving my power to that thing. Like, I'm at peace and I'm happy and I'm done poisoning my mind and my body and my soul about stressing over it. Like, I'm done doing that to myself. Why do that? Why? And you're learning to just like straighten the crown and keep moving forward. And I feel like you're realizing there's a part of you that ruminates on things a little bit too much, and you're getting to this place of like, it's not worth that, because the 9 minus the 7 is the Two of Wands. You're choosing a new path, but with the Two of Pentacles there, you're trying to find the balance of like, what's a healthy ruminating and what's excessive. Like, there is healthy thinking about something because you're transmuting it, because you're processing that emotion, working through it, and then releasing it. But if you're constantly thinking about it and it's taking up too much space in your mind, that's where you need to get to that place of like, no, my mind and my emotions is for my thoughts and my feelings. They're not meant for you, and they're not meant for the stress that thinking about you constantly is causing me, because now it's taking away my peace and my happiness and my joy. No. Toodaloo. Bye. That's when it gets excessive, when it takes a toll on your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. No. And physical health. Let's look at the Eight of Cups. Because there's a sense of exhaustion that's coming with this. Yeah, Six of Wands in reverse. Yeah, because you're like, there's some of you, whatever the situation is, you're like, it's not gonna work, and it's not gonna be victorious. I'm not gonna win. There's no winning with it, and you're realizing that there's a little bit of like ego attached to it. You're like, it's either like, I want the last word. I want to show them that I am like confident, I am powerful, but you're realizing like, I don't need to prove that. I don't need to prove that. Because actually walking away is going to show them a lot more. My silence is going to be a lot stronger than any of it. And just whole new perspective. Whole new perspective. Eight of Cups. Out the door. Out the door. Leaving in peace. It's like if someone's yelling and screaming in your face, and you're just like, I think it's best that we take a few minutes to calm down. I'm going to go outside. And you do that, they're going to be like flabbergasted, because you stayed calm and you just removed yourself. It's probably going to make them even more mad. But hey, it's going to do you a lot better and keep you a lot calmer. And you're going to feel a lot better at that response than getting angry right back at them, right? And it shows you a lot more strength than retaliating. Let's look at the Eight of Cups. I feel a massive shift at this Eight of Cups. It's like there should be a card here, but there's not a card here. It's like there should be, like, I honestly feel like this is where the sun should be, like an illumination or judgment. It's really like what should, or like the High Priestess. It feels like one of those three cards should be here. Let's see what we need for Leo. It's really High Priestess energy is really what it feels like. There we have Death, the Two of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Knight of Wands, and the Five of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Wands in reverse. I guess death works though too. Death is the ending, the rebirth. It's the phoenix, the coming to life, right? I love that. I love that so much. And we've been talking so much about the phoenix on Patreon. It came to me in a meditation, and anyway, we're not going to get into that. Long story short, the phoenix is like a divine feminine embodiment of transformation. It's very elegant and it allows you to accept change in a way that is graceful and yet powerful at the same time. Regardless of your gender, you're allowing change to happen in a way that flows, because a phoenix is a bird. It flows. It allows it to come into its life and it just accepts it. It doesn't challenge it. Just like, okay, change is necessary. It's a constant. Okay, cool. Let's flow with it. Two of Swords, right? Whether you see it or not, you know that there is going to be some hard work to do here. Part of you is really struggling to open your heart and accept certain things that are happening right now, because you might see them as things that you don't want to do, right? Like, oh, I don't want to let this person go, or I don't want them to think that they're right, or I don't want to give them the upper hand. And that's the part of you that's like the Knight of Wands, like the back and forth, like, oh, I want to say this and I want to say that. The really fiery part of Leo, right? But it's the part of you that you're releasing. And that's normal. That's normal. That's the death of that part of the ego. That is, and this is just an attachment to the word, right? The attachment to the word immature. But you are maturing out of this, right? It's like the little kid part of you that wants to stomp your feet and go back and say, you know what? You're realizing that the adult part of you is like, actually, it's not worth it, right? It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Because you're maturing, you're realizing like it's not worth it. And the Five of Cups in reverse, you're realizing that you got 2 cups still upright. And you're just like, let those 3 cups fall. Let them fall. I got 2 cups I could still drink, and it's not worth crying over the 3 that fell. It's not. And that's why you go into the Four of Swords. You just go into healing. You're like, my peace and my solitude are way more important than this fight. Than this bickering. This is way more important. Let's look at the Five of Swords. Nine of Cups. Yeah, as soon as you let go of the conflict, you get to the place of understanding and really feeling and embodying the pure happiness and joy and peace within yourself as an individual. Because the 9s in tarot represent an individual. The 10s represent the environment. When we reach a 9 in tarot, because the ace to the 10 is the journey to completion, right? Ace is a beginning, the 10 is the completion. The 9 is when you reach the mastery of self, right? So you've reached the mastery of the emotional self. You're getting to that place of finding the joy, the peace, and the fulfillment of your own emotions within yourself as an individual. So you might have discovered like intimacy with yourself can be just resting your hands on your heart and sitting, just breathing and saying, I'm grateful for this moment, or I forgive myself, right? If you say that 3-4 times and you just breathe in silence in your house with the lights off, you're most likely going to find something from 10-20 years ago that you are going to cry about. You didn't realize that you needed to cry about, because what you're doing is you're creating an intimate relationship with yourself. How often do we do that? You're finding that you as yourself are a relationship too, and that's what this season is about. That is what Libra season is. Libra is a sign of relationships, but it's not just relationships with other people, it's also the relationship itself. And that's the relationship that you are building this month. It's a relationship with you. Some of you are like, that sucks, I really wanted a lover. But you will have a lover after you have yourself. Because you can't have, well, you can, but it's most likely not going to be the relationship that you really want, because you will never know a love as deep as the love you really know with yourself, right? And when you know that kind of love, when you find it in another, you can be like, oh my gosh, I've really only found this with me. It's crazy that I found it with you now too. So let's look at the Page of Swords, because this is where your authenticity comes out. Because this is where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm finally learning who I am. Like I'm figuring out, like, I could do that. Like I could feel this way. I could be fun and silly and vulnerable. Because you're turning into this student again. You're looking at yourself with fresh eyes. Let's look at this Page of Swords energy. What do we got here? Yeah, the Queen of Cups in reverse. Ooh, that's going to be a doozy. And the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. And the King of Swords. I see now why we're going into ourselves for a little bit. And why you have the Phoenix, the Divine Feminine transformation, which makes sense. We've been working on our masculine energy for the last few years as a collective. So now shifting into your feminine energy, especially in Libra season, which is ruled by the Empress, right? Venusian energy, which is the divine feminine. You're working on this part of you that is learning to be confident, but confident and powerful with the right use of power. The right use of power. When I say the right use of power, a lot of times we think of the word power as someone who is like, ooh, I'm powerful, and we think of it as authority. And those words, language has given it a negative connotation. Society has deemed those words as frightening in some sense, right? But power, right? I have the power to choose kindness today. When you choose the way in which you perceive words and language, they completely change in your mind. I choose to be happy. I choose to have the power to smile today. I have the power to smile today. I have the power to be lighthearted. I have the power to be compassionate with myself. I have the power to move with kindness through the world, right? I have the power to be loving and gentle with myself. I have the power to move slowly through the grocery store and not rush through my day. I have the power to wipe my child's butt gently instead of aggressively, regardless of how much they're kicking their legs when I'm trying to change their diaper, right? Whatever it is for you, whatever your frustration, you have the power to move differently. And it's that realization that you might have been moving with a very masculine energy and learning to be more gentle with yourself, right? To move slower and more languidly. And you're going to realize that the stress falls away and you're going to start seeing yourself very differently, because this is the true nature of you. You have both dualities. You're not just masculine, you're feminine too, regardless of your gender. Regardless of your gender. Doesn't matter your gender. We all have masculine and feminine, right? I'm naturally masculine. I love to be an Energizer bunny all the time. But naturally, I actually prefer to move slower. And I had to practice that to balance my energy. It's a practice. It is a practice. This is definitely a monthly reading for you. This is going to be like your October monthly for sure. Let's look at the Hermit. Mandy. We have the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, both in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so if you emotionally disconnect or are distant from people at this time, it's because you're really discovering the parts of you that need honing, the parts of you that need love, the parts of you that need nurturing, because you're finding out that you can be this Queen of Pentacles. You can be reliable and stable and loving and nurturing and motherly to yourself. That's what you're doing. I like this. I like this a lot. Bottom of the deck is Judgment. Yeah, you're moving into your soul's path. This is part of your journey. This is part of your soul's path. You're exactly what and where you're supposed to be. So just keep kicking it day by day, one step at a time, but take it day by day. Don't figure out what you're supposed to be doing 2, 3, 4 days from now. One day at a time. One day at a time. One word at a time. Okay? But Leo, this is what I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you want a personal reading or a Reiki session, book it down below. Thank you so much for joining me today. And like, share, subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, and I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see y'all next time.